Hari Om, everybody. Welcome back. It's 10 o'clock. We will get started. Om. गणनान्त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सेदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामविद्यवत् ॐ गणेशाय नमः ॐ सरस्वत्यै नमः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये वागीशाद्या सुमनसः सर्वार्थानामुपक्रमे यं नत्वा कृतकृत्या स्युः तं नमामि गजाननम् वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ब्रह्मानन्दम् परमसुखदम् केवलम् ज्ञानमूर्तिम् द्वन्द्वातीतम् गगनसदृशम् तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकम् नित्यम् विमलमचलम् सर्वधी साक्षिभूतम् भावातीतम् त्रिगुणरहितम् सद्गुरुम् तम् नमामि सद्गुरुम् तम् नमामि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयम् करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्य केशवम् बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् यस्य सन्निधिमात्रेण सर्वे शिष्याश्च सेवकाः कर्मक्षेत्रे प्रवर्तन्ते चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम् चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम् Hari Om, everybody. Welcome back to our weekly Vedanta classes. Over the last few months, we did a thorough study of the text Druk Drushya Viveka. And this week onwards, in our weekly sessions, we will embark on the study of one of the classic texts of Vedanta. It helps us to introduce all of us to the joys of Vedanta. The text is called Viveka Choodamani, composed by Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya ji. In these classes, we've been studying several texts of Vedanta Shastra in a very structured way. Those who have joined new at this point, I once again strongly encourage you to go through the 15 modules of Adhyatma Prakasha series, Vedanta Simplified. An attempt is made to simplify Vedanta in those that are on our Chinmaya Ramanam YouTube channel, in which you will get exposed to the basic terminologies commonly used in Vedanta. It also gives you an overview of the purpose as to why we should study Vedanta. So far, we have studied many Prakarana Granthas like Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, Bhaja Govindam, Upadesha Sara, Sadhana Panchakam, etc. To name a few, we are starting another Prakarana Grantha, Viveka Choodamani. While Tattva Bodha exposed us to the definitions of the terminologies, Atma Bodha was a textbook of Vedantic concepts explained through Drishtanta examples. Bhajagovindam brought us a sense of urgency for this type of study, helped us how to see the world with dosha drushti, how to see the defects in this world, and to develop pratipaksha bhavana, and in turn develop vairagya, detachment. Again, Viveka Choodamani is a text written by Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji, and in our tradition, it is customary to introduce the author or the composer of the text. I have already given you this introduction before about Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji during our study of Bhajagovindam, Atma Bodha, etc. But for the benefit of those who are new to our classes, I will provide a brief introduction today. As we already know, Bhagavad Pada Shankaracharya ji was a great thinker, a great philosopher of the school of Advaita Vedanta. As I have suggested this before, please read this book, Shankara the Missionary, published by our Chinmaya Mission, on Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji's life story in detail. At the time when Shankaracharya ji was there, during his time, Hinduism was very fragmented. Buddhism was very dominant because Hinduism at that time had resorted to extremely ritualistic practices Give me 1 second. Somebody may be trying to join here. Extremely ritualistic practices and Bhagavan Buddha came at that time and to teach us values, taught values like ahimsa, non-injury, daya, compassion, self-restraint, all of these disciplines. He even denounced the Vedas. Ahimsa hi paramo dharmaha. Bhagavan Shankaracharya was born in Kerala near Kaladi around the 8th century. He re-established the Vedas as the basis of Hindu culture. He revived all the philosophical truths of the Upanishads. Sham karoti iti Shankaraha. He is the bestower of happiness. That is how his parents named him Shankara. And I don't want to go into those stories today. We also know that how in a short lifespan of 32 years, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji brought about this national integration because it was very fragmented, united all the people, revival of Vedic culture in India. In one shloka that depicts his whole life story, along with some important events in his life. अष्टवर्षे चतुर्वेदी द्वादशे सर्वशास्त्रवित् षोडशे कृतवान् भाष्यम् द्वात्रिंशे मुनिरभ्यगात्. See, by the age of 8, Ashtavarshe, he had completed a thorough study of all the 4 Vedas. He had mastered the Shastras by the age of 12. At the age of 16, Shodashe Krutavan Bhashyam. At the age of 16, Sri Shankaracharya ji writes Bhashya, commentary to Prasthanatrayi. He revealed the truths of Vedanta by writing elaborate commentaries called Bhashyas on 10 of the major Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and the Bhagavad Gita. He also composed hundreds of stotrams. We have studied a few of those, and I've given some samples in our previous introductions. He established 4 mathas in the 4 corners of India, representing 4 Vedas and the 4 Mahavakyas contained in each one of them, keeping 4 of his distinguished disciples as the head of each of the Pitam. Padmapadacharya, Sureshwaracharya, Hastamalakacharya, and Totakacharya. These were his 4 prominent disciples. There were many others. So the doctrine of non-dualism, also known as Shankara Siddhanta. What is that? Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. Meaning, Brahman, the absolute, alone is real. This world is unreal, mithya, and the jiva or the individual soul is not different from Brahman. Meaning, we are essentially divine, having a human experience. He brought about the revival of Advaita Vedanta by establishing the truth revealed in the Upanishads called Jiva Brahma Aikya. the oneness of Jiva and Brahma. With that much introduction, let us now understand what is a Prakarana Grantha. For those of us, you have heard this before. It is a refresher. See, in order for us to understand the message of the Upanishads, and when you study Upanishads, that's why Bhagavan Sri Krishna calls it in Bhagavad Gita as Guhyatamam Shastram. Not just secret, Guhyatama, top secret. And you will understand as you study that a lot of guidance to grasp these important messages from these Shastras is needed. So these great acharyas in our tradition, what they have done is they have presented this knowledge of Vedanta in a very systematic way in these Prakarana Granthas. Easy to understand. We just completed the study of Drushya Viveka. And those who attended these live sessions know and appreciate how the Acharya presented that seer and seen logic in a very methodical way. So this Viveka Choodamani is one of such classical texts composed by Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji, has 580 verses, a very elaborate composition, a very poetic composition. It is in the form of a dialogue, samvada, between the student and the teacher. Viveka means separation, discrimination, differentiation, because oftentimes when we use the word discrimination in this country, it has a very negative connotation, like racial discrimination, separating or dividing people based on the color of the skin, or gender discrimination, when you discriminate between people based on their gender. All these are no, that is not what we are talking about. Every day we are using this viveka, or ability to choose or differentiate between what is right and what is wrong, what is legal and what is illegal, or one step up, what is ethical versus what is not ethical. In that viveka, we also see what is legal in one country can be illegal in another country, or what is considered immoral in one society or country may be legally permitted in another society. Common examples being consumption of alcohol or smoking indoors, prostitution, so on and so forth. But under the broad umbrella, we can say they fall under samanya dharma, common principles of morality. Dharma versus adharma, righteousness versus unrighteousness. See, until this point in our lives, we don't need Vedanta. Much of Viveka is determined by my role in the society based on my Varnashrama Dharma or my phase in life. But once I enter the portals of Vedanta, we need much refined levels of Viveka. Our Viveka needs to be sharpened. This is called Viveka Samarthya. The moment I enter the front doors of Vedanta, I need to sharpen my ability in the process of discrimination or differentiation. I apply my knowledge to make me free from sorrow, dukkham. See, we have gotten this body, we have gotten this human body, then I do karma, actions. For what? To fulfill kama, desires. So, under the moral principles or guided by fundamental value principles, I drop adharmic or unrighteous actions, I discard them, and I pursue dharmic or righteous actions. Because meritorious actions, when I do, I get meritorious results. Punya. And as a result of that, I get sukham. Then I start to attend these Vedanta classes with Tattva Bodha. There I was told I can do Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti because currently I am engaged in these external pursuits of objects for happiness. I need to pursue my journey inward in order to know my true nature. That Atma is that Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. All these I am told. In Tattva Bodha, I am told Madiyatvena Gnatam Atma na bhavati. See, in order to differentiate and understand, my core is different from me. None of us need to have a great intellectual skill set to differentiate that. That is very ordinary Viveka. Like that ability to drop adharmic actions and choose dharmic actions is great Viveka. Step up. But when I need to understand how to do Atma Anatma Viveka, what is Anatma? What is the nature of Atma? Nitya Anitya Viveka. What is permanent and what is temporary? And to extend it further, what is real and what is unreal? Or what seems real or apparently real? What is Guna Traya Viveka? What is this Sharira Traya Viveka? The gross body, subtle body, causal body, etc. What is Avastha Traya Viveka? And what is Drushya Viveka? What is Pancha Kosha Viveka? I have to use this type of discrimination or differentiation when I mistake Anatma to be Atma, and moreover, the stronger my identity, ID, that notion, the stronger that notion, the stronger the Viveka I need to apply. That is where the study of a text like Viveka Choodamani comes in. With the result of this kind of study, the wisdom I gain to make me free from sorrow, that Advitiya Atma Agnanam, that triple A, is my dukkha karanam. And with that firm knowledge, conviction will come. But if we do these classes just once a week with 580 verses to study, it will take a long time. This is not practical way to study. Similar to how we studied Atma Bodha, under the broad topics, we will study this text of Viveka Choodamani. Choodamani means what? The crest jewel that one wears on the head. They might be wearing all other ornamentation, but this gets the attention. So if you remember in Ramayana, Hanumanji asked Sita Mata for a token of proof that he can carry back to show Lord Rama and delight him with the news that Sita Devi is well, her well-being. What does Sita Mata do? She hands her Chudamani that she had worn, that Bhagavan Sri Ramachandraji would immediately recognize. And this is what that kind of a jewel, this Viveka Chudamani is that kind of a Ratna amongst the Vedantic texts. With that, we will enter the text with the invocation shloka, Mangala Charana shloka. Let me see if I can share this successfully. See, in Mangala Charana shloka, prayers are often offered to the Ishta Devata and the Guru. In Tattva Bodha, when we studied, he bows down to Vasudeva Krishna. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Gnanapradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Vidhiyate. Or when we studied Atma Bodha, Tapo Bhikshina Papanam Shantanam vitaraginam mumukshunam apekshoyam atmabodho vidhiyate. Just trying to, so that your memory comes back on those verses. So in Viveka Choodamani, it's a masterpiece Mangalacharan. Let's chant. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Gocharam Tamagocharam Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. One more time together. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. See, in this Mangala Charanam, it is even more clever. He offers salutations to Govinda, Bhagavan Krishna, and also his teacher, Govinda Bhagavat Padacharya. See, the main reason of Mangala Charana, as I said before, is to bow down to the Guru and to Bhagavan to get their blessings before the start of the work. Kind of like an ego diminishing exercise, that instead of Kartru, I become the Karana. I become the instrument of the action for Lord's purpose. That Govinda has many meanings. The ruler of the sense organs, the protector of cows, Bhagavan Krishna, the supreme being, Agocharam, that cannot be known through the sense organs or the perceptions of the sense organs. One who is beyond the perception of the sensory organs, human emotions, and the reasoning through the intellect. See how beautiful in one verse, one stroke, he has given so much in the Mangala Charana Shloka. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Like I said, we will study this text under the broad topics. So, with our first topic, the 9 blessings or the glory of human birth. I have shared this a few times as a reference in my previous classes. So, the second verse is very often quoted. Let us chant that. जन्तूनां नरजन्म दुर्लभमतः जन्तूनां नरजन्म दुर्लभमतः पुंस्त्वं ततो विप्रता पुंस्त्वं ततो विप्रता तस्मात् वैदिकधर्ममार्गपरता तस्मात् वैदिकधर्ममार्गपरता विद्वत्त्वमस्मात् परम् विद्वत्त्वमस्मात् परम् आत्मानात्मविवेचनम् स्वनुभवो ब्रह्मात्मना संस्थितिः आत्मानात्मविवेचनम् स्वनुभवो ब्रह्मात्मना संस्थितिः मुक्तिर्नो शतजन्मकोटि सुकृतैः पुण्यैर्विना लभ्यते जन्तूनां नरजन्म दुर्लभमतः पुंस्त्वं ततो विप्रता तस्मात् वैदिकधर्ममार्गपरता विद्वत्त्वमस्मात् परम् आत्मानात्मविवेचनम् स्वनुभवो ब्रह्मात्मना संस्थितिः मुक्तिर्नो शतजन्मकोटिसुकृतैः पुण्यैर्विना लभ्यते. See, at the beginning of Viveka Choodamani, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji explains these 9 rare blessings to glorify the importance of the spiritual life in a human birth. So we will study this shloka in detail to discover this roadmap he has given for God realization. I put together a simple flow chart to explain that. So this is our baseline. And after that, we have gotten the human birth. I have put a reversible arrow there. And below the baseline is less evolved species like animals, plants, etc., other life forms. So this B1 through B9, blessing 1, blessing 2, blessing 3, these are our milestones on the spiritual highway, that upliftment highway. And from each of these, the B1, let me kind of review that. B1 is human birth, Narajanma. B2 is manhood or Pumstvam. B3 is Viprata, noble or sattvic attitudes in life. Blessing number 4 is Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata, the steadfastness on the path of Dharma as prescribed in the Vedas. Blessing number 5, milestone, is Vidvatvam, correct knowledge or the deep significance of the Vedas. I'll take each one separately in the discussion. Blessing 6, differentiation, Atma Anatma Vivechanam, differentiation between what is self and what is not self. Blessing number 7, Swa Anubhava, direct experience. Blessing number 8 is Brahma Atma Samstitihi, establishing firmly in Brahman and Atman. Blessing number 9 is Mukti. With that, if you want to take a screenshot of that for your reference, you're welcome to do so. And I'll take each one and talk about it. So the first one, Nara Janma, human birth. See, Adi Shankaracharya ji says human birth is very rare. We've gotten it. How fortunate are we? So there are so many jantus, species, from a unicellular amoeba, algae, plants, fishes, insects, and so on. Human birth is considered rare not because we possess great physical abilities. Blue whale holds the world record for size. Cheetah holds it for speed. Dogs, I believe, can hear a wider range of sound than humans. Snakes can see a wider range of colors than humans. Many other physical attributes. We don't even stand a chance. But what Vedanta is pointing out is that the human beings alone are endowed with what? Faculty of self awareness. Meaning, we have the ability to be objectively being aware of our actions, our words, our thoughts, our habits in our intellectual evolution. All other species in this creation are programmed to lead a life mainly guided by their instinctive behavior. They do not have the ability to choose their response and reprogram their lives. This is a rare blessing we as humans have, a rare capacity of purushartha, free will. Above all of this, we are capable of noble pursuits, divine pursuits. We alone, as humans, can ask and ponder on a profound question like, who am I? What is the purpose of my life, my existence? How did I get here? Where was I before this birth? See, in the Vedas and other scriptures, there is a mention of other celestial beings, divine beings, like what? Kinnaras, Gandharvas, Yakshas. These births are considered mainly Bhogakshayartham. They are mainly for the sake of enjoyment, for exhausting our sukha, for exhausting our punya karmas. Because of the accumulated merits, punyas, based on our past actions, we may enjoy the fruits of these actions in the upper world, heavens, let's call it. But Shastras clearly say we'll have to return to earth once these meritorious results or punya karmas are exhausted. Chine punye martyalokam vishanti. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, like on a vacation, when the credit card is exhausted, how we need to return. Like that, when this merit card is exhausted, we are mercilessly sent out. Actually, we did one play at the end of the first year of our course, the Vedanta course. In that, the boys depicted this guy is watching the Ramba dance and his merit is done. They cut a hole literally and dropped him down, actually, like that. Besides all of this, these celestial birds are not considered superior to human birth as an embodiment because it is meant for enjoyment and exhausting the punya karma, not progressing in spiritual life. However, why is it glorified? Only in human birth. Nara Janma, there is a chance to put an end to the cycle of birth and death called samsara. It is only in the human birth that we get the right mixture of joy and sorrow, sukha and dukkha, to develop dispassion, vairagya, to end our finite pleasures, to end our pursuit, and catapult to the higher goal, leading to liberation from Manava to Madhava. And in the second blessing, milestone, Pumstvam. Shankaracharya enumerates this second of the 9 blessings, Pumstvam. Our Puja Gurudev, Swami Chinmayanandji, describes manhood as manly qualities of the head and the heart. See, a lot of misunderstanding is there in this interpretation. A woman symbolically represents what? A motherly quality, softness, attachment, sentiment, emotional qualities. And of course, a lot of these soft qualities can be found in a lot of people encapsulated in a masculine body as well. Therefore, pumstvam or manhood here that he is referencing is or manly qualities such as what? Firmness, determination, detachment, intellectual hardiness. So, this manhood is a reference for intellectual evolution of a being with these masculine attributes, not the reference to the body. Puja Gurudev, in a timeless classic, a text called Kindle Light, we are studying that on our Wednesday classes. A rare few, I'm quoting him, a rare few develop a universal love and constantly age themselves in the activity under the guidance of a superior intellect, and he calls them man. And they alone can claim the prestige, dignity, and the glory of man. That's why a lot of misinterpretation that women are prohibited from studying Vedantic studies, etc. This kind of argument is erroneous. Our scriptures have always given equal recognition of Purusha and Prakriti, Shiva and Shakti, the female aspect of the deity. There have been numerous illustrations of the great masters of Vedanta, Kapila Muni, who taught Kapila Gita to Deva Bhuti, Sage Yagnavalkya taught his wife Maitreyi, because Vedanta is a science for our Sukshma Buddhi, subtle intellect. That is why our Puja Gurudev used to say it cannot be taught, it has to be caught. We need to grasp it. Therefore, the study of the Vedantic scriptures can be taken up by anybody who has fine tuned their minds, developed a sharp intellect, because this study transcends the BMI, body, mind, and intellect. So, the realm of denying a woman or Atman encapsulated in a female body is an erroneous argument. You can use that. The third blessing, Viprata, is also often misunderstood and translated simply as Brahminhood. This does not mean that self realization is guaranteed just for Brahmins and their dynasty. I don't stand a chance. No. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, a good reference is fourth chapter, Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. Human beings are classified on the basis of Guna Karma Vibhagashaha, not Janma Karma Vibhagashaha. Therefore, the literal meaning of Viprata or Brahminhood should not be misunderstood. It's not a blessing limited to a particular caste in the society. That's a wrong argument. At this stage, Vedantic seeker in the development has replaced all his tamasic, rajasic tendencies and predominantly is exhibiting sattvic qualities of serenity, intelligent self restraint, austerity, purity, forgiveness, uprightness, knowledge, and more importantly, Shraddha, faith in God. And this is the evolution of the man described now, the evolutionary maturity of a person. He has controlled his or her emotional instincts. This Viprata transformed the seeker to a disciplined seeker in pursuit of perfection. Third stage. So the sattvic qualities help to evolve manhood to mature manhood. So this Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata brings that steadfastness on the path of Dharma with immense belief and faith, and this Vipra evolves into a Dharma Nishta with selfless actions, rituals, practices of devotion, japa, puja. The spiritual evolution becomes more profitable with the next blessing, Vidvatvam. Vidvatvam provides what? Whys and wherefore. Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata provides this Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata. And Vidvatvam, the ladder of the spiritual evolution, it takes him further. Keeping the sadhanas with enthusiasm, nurturing the subtle intellect with symbolic meaning, the right understanding of the Vedic literature. It's fortified with a clear understanding. At Vidvatvam stage, The spiritual seeker understands the logic and the purpose of these spiritual disciplines. And then, armed with these qualities, with firm determination, he is equipped with the 4 Ds of Vedanta. We will study that. He is now a sadhana chatushtaya sampanna. The right understanding of the scriptures gives this ability to differentiate between the pure consciousness from the jada vastu, from inert matter, like the body and the mind and the intellect and so on. And this process is Atma Anatma Vivechanam, to differentiate between what is self, what is not self. The intellectual knowledge at this point, but he has still not crossed the realms of the BMI. That's when Swa Anubhava, the direct experience, comes in, the higher, from knowing to being. By the steady process of meditation, samadhi, the seeker transcends the BMI. This is aparoksha anubhuti. Then, once he has experienced that blissful state, Brahma Atma Samstitihi, the seeker is continuously aware of his true nature. And this is the state of knowing. From state of knowing, he is in a state of being. He has reached from this state of perfection. The Bandha has become the Buddha. The Manava has become the Madhava. And this is the man of God realization. Such a man in his spiritual evolution has been glorified by the Upanishads as the Jivan Mukta Purusha. Bhagavad Gita calls him Sthita Pragna, Gunatita, transcended the 3 gunas. And for the one who has reached this Paramahamsa Padavi, sainthood, there is no coming back. This is the spiritual highway with one way and no exit, no return. This person has reached from Manava to Madhava, drops his body after exhausting all the prarabdha karmas. That is Videha Mukti. So in one shloka, Shankaracharya ji has given this beautiful roadmap enumerating the stages of self-development. He has gone beyond the chapters of the Darwin's theory of evolution, dissected it to take us beyond from the bondage to liberate us from this ocean of samsara. And in the next verse, I call this the M&M of Vedanta. So that you can remember this easily, the shloka number 3 or the verse number 3. Durlabham trayame vaitat devanugraha hetukam. Durlabham trayame vaitat Daivanugraham hetukam. Devanugraha hetukam. Manushyatvam Mumukshutvam. First M is Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusha Samshrayah. One more time. Durlabham trayame vaitat devanugraha hetukam Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusha Samshrayah. I'll take one more minute to explain this. In the next sloka, he re-emphasizes these three M's: Manushyatva, manhood; Mumukshutva. What is Mumukshutva? A burning desire for liberation, such an intense desire to get out of this samsara, Mahapurusha Samshraya. For a great master to come into our lives, that man of wisdom, these three are rare indeed, and they are very clear indicators. If anyone gets that all three, it's clear indication that blessing of the Lord is there. A Brahmagnani like Puja Gurudev or our Puja Guruji to come into our lives and bless us with this kind of teaching. If anyone has obtained all three, it is only because of divine grace and blessings, Daivanugraha. With that, I want to kind of conclude today's class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrutyorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Tat Sat. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all see auspiciousness. May none suffer. Om peace, peace, peace. Thank you, everyone. With that, I will open it up for our interactive session. Please feel free to unmute yourself and let's